a lot of people are wondering what precipitated the stop in the first place. You say you guys are waiting on hear about
yeah,
that?
we believe it was a routine traffic stop. What we know right now, we're going to do the in-depth interviews with the officers within the next couple days, and so we'll know definitely then. But we believe it appears to be, as I mentioned, we do have some video and audio of different portions of this investigation, and from the squad car, it looks as though it was a routine traffic stop.
I had mentioned to you there were some reports from some of the witnesses down in this area claiming that they kind of saw this, and it didn't appear that the guy pointed a gun at the officers. What you were mentioning, there's some misinformation out there. Is that part of what you say?
Our information runs contrary to that, and we do have witnesses from the scene that we've talked to. There is a lot of misinformation, and we would encourage the public, to be patient. We have the Indiana State Police working with us, an independent police agency, another objective opinion, the prosecutor's office, the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, assisted to a degree as well. So our goal is to seek the truth, and so any information that exists out there, we would encourage those people to come forward so we could interview them. But obviously there is an undercurrent of, we feel, misinformation. And so we'd just like to have people understand that and be patient, that the facts will come out on this investigation.
Any concern, you mentioned that there was some slurs, reported maybe some negative feedback from some of the folks, the bystanders down there, to the officers. Concerned about the attitude that might be existing down there in that part of town?
Well, certainly. I mean, we have to work with the community to make our city safer. We depend on information from the community to solve various crimes. So, that's important. So it would be unfortunate if a small group of people with misinformation would have an adverse impact on that. We've had a very good working relationship with different community organizations, not just over the last weeks or months, but years. And, we certainly want that to continue. So we ask for people's patience to know that we are diligently working on this. This goes back, though, to you and I spoke, the number of firearms that are out there. I mean, the increase in violence that we've seen perpetrated against other civilians, not just over the last 4 months, but, the last couple of years. And, when you look at trends throughout the United States, there unfortunately are more and more officer-involved shootings out there for two main reasons. Number one, we're seeing more weapons out there in the hands of irresponsible people than we've ever seen before, and officers are much better trained than they have ever been in law enforcement's history. They're better trained to protect themselves. So in light of that, we're seeing the number of shootings increase. It's heartbreaking for everybody involved, but it's what modern law enforcement's dealing with in this day.
How about, you mentioned the misinformation part. In a sense, is there some people that, in other words, I guess, what would you attribute to the fact that some people might be saying something that happened that in your mind didn't happen? In other words, what would be a motive for somebody giving an irresponsible or an incorrect kind of a version of what might have happened down there?
I can't say. I can tell we've certainly heard different versions from many people, but that's not unusual. People see things and they see it differently. But from my observations and from what I know now, the officers were confronted with a deadly situation. The information out there that this young man did not have a gun is absolutely not true. He did have a firearm. That was recognized from the beginning of this pursuit, this foot pursuit. He had that weapon at the end. The officer threatened the officers with that weapon from the information that we have at this point, and they reacted in a way that I feel was appropriate when faced with a deadly situation.
Actually, wouldn't it be fair to say that if both officers fired, that would add some credibility? If one officer had acted one way and another didn't, if they both are acting that way, they must have seen something.
Well, I think it shows that they perceived the situation the same.
Again, I have to ask you that. I did ask you before, but now for the sake of the camera, you sort of touched on it, but is there a public relations problem now? It doesn't matter, even if the officers acted completely as they did. How does the department try to overcome that and make sure to restore the confidence down there with the public?
Well, as I said, it's important that as a community that we work together. And what we do is we keep our contacts with the community, the good relationships we have. And, you know, is it a step back? Certainly. And all quarters have worked very hard and will continue to work hard. I know I've been in touch with our community partners today, making sure that continues, and that opinion was unanimous, that we continue to work forward and we deal with things as we go along.
So the NAACP, the Urban League, those are not expressing a concern to you that, we're concerned about what happened?
No, I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that there's a joint agreement that we continue our relationships.
Okay. Is there anything else you know that's important to say on the subject that I didn't ask?
No, and I just want to say that I understand the different responsibilities community organizations have in the community and to the community they serve. I understand that. I wasn't suggesting that everything is fine, but I am suggesting that there is a universal agreement that we need to continue to work together.